Welcome to the Festival of Marketing, where marketing conversation drive business outcomes. We have with us Professor Abhishek. Thank you so much, Professor Abhishek, for joining us here at the Festival of Marketing. Thank you. It's been a pleasure hosting you. I want to understand from you, we're hearing reports and we've heard reports throughout last year that this year there will be global slowdown in the economies, although we are seeing some resistance. How do you think the marketing budgets will look like in FY24? Do you think they'll be same as last year, or will we witness a slash in the budgets this year?
If we look at the secular trend, which I have been looking at this trend over last 10-12 years, the trend has always been growing. And if we talk about Indian context, the per capita spend on advertising is definitely much lower than what the money which is being spent in North America and Australia and many other countries. So I don't see that that's going to slow down. The growth is definitely going to be there. Definitely the secular growth is going to be more for digital. Digital is going to grow more, but then other like print and television, they are also going to grow. Because the simple fact of the matter is that while there is talk of recession, in India, we don't have a recession problem. We have a very good consumption story, and which is going to drive the advertising spend also.
You know, moving to another space which is evolving now, which is digital. It's becoming mainstream now. We saw humongous growth in digital last year. We saw growth in TV and print as well. Specifically, if we talk about TV and print, how do you think their outlook will be in FY24?
Television, the way we look at traditional TV advertising is not going to grow as much as what we have seen in past. But if you are saying that it's going to cut down, that's not going to happen. The forms will change. Now we are still consuming content on television. It may not be coming from traditional advertising, but it is coming from OTT players, and the money is moving there. That is one of the largest rising segment in the advertising world. So a lot of money that is, I remember last time it was growing at around 32% annually, which is a huge growth. So money is definitely going to flow. It's going to flow from maybe the traditional advertising to the what we call as the cord cutters segment, who are watching. Even if you look at it, even Netflix has started advertising. Now they have a limited number of advertisers, so that money is definitely going to come in. The way it was moving to media broadcaster is going to move from media broadcaster to OTT players. So the degrowth is never going to happen. It's always going to be growth. Again, India has a very strong consumption story.
When we talk about AI, we're already in the age of AI. How do you think it will impact the role of marketers? Do you think that the role of marketers will become redundant in the age of AI as we move forward?
I don't think that the age of marketer is ever going to be redundant. Because see, there was a very old debate, and this was a debate between Sir Martin Sorrell and Haggerty. Haggerty is one of the greats of creatives, and he said that when everybody has, Martin Sorrell said that I need to have data, because data is what is going to give me competitive advantage. Haggerty said that if everybody has data, then who will get the advantage? The person who has the best creative skill will get the advantage. So it's the same thing. If everybody has AI, who will get the advantage? The person with the human element will be able to get the advantage. So it's going to permeate more and more in our world, marketing world, but the human element is still going to be there. It is still going to drive the whatever we are going to do in marketing.
Right. I think we are seeing this story across sectors, that the human element is very crucial, and it will, it will be balancing with the AI going forward. And moving to other question, you mentioned data. Now data is again another buzzword now. We are seeing a lot of awareness and regulation that is kicking in the space of data. How do you think data will impact precision marketing? How do you think it will create relevant customer experiences going forward?
See, data has already started making an impact, and marketers are making good use of data. Even since the economists came up with the thing that data is the new oil, everybody is looking after this new oil. But do people really know how to extract that oil from the reserve? And that is one thing. Yes, people are learning, people are doing it, but then there's also this element that when you make use of data, you are also making it very personalized. Sometimes that can be very spooky also. And therefore, one has to be very clear that balance has to maintain in terms of making use of data and and also providing that personalization, what we call as the privacy paradox. So you need to maintain the privacy, and you also need to make use of data to drive the personalization. In that, my advice for everybody would be that think about privacy by design. Your tech stack has to be built like that it automatically does not allow the privacy to be breached. If that is going to happen, it's going to work out very well.
Moving to another aspect which is growing in conversation these days is sustainability. How do you think marketing or marketers can impact purpose and sustainability in an organization, and how do you think their role will make a difference going forward?
See, I have been teaching advertising and sales promotion, and we have been talking about the purpose of brand. And what we saw as purpose of brand used to envisage a lot of things earlier. Now, many of them are now saying that rather than being too broad-based, now let's focus on purpose, which is more to do with sustainability. So that is something which is definitely picking up. This is definitely everybody is talking about it, and it is going to be a core focus going forward. So if marketers are going to ignore it, it is going to be at their own peril, because the new consumer is more aware. I look at my children, the kids who are going to school. They are much aware, and once they are in their school, they are being taught about all these things. So if they are going to grow up and they get to hear that this is not happening, they are not going to be very happy about it. So this is something which has to be pursued by marketers.
They'll go for a brand which is alternatively offering a greener future.
This is already narrative has started building that direction. As we move forward, the
marketers can't miss out on this opportunity and on this impact. Going to my last question, which is about your advice to the young marketers who will be watching this. What do you think they should be looking out for in the industry going forward?
Well, I also started like a young marketer many years ago when I joined the industry. And one thing I found is that when you work, you have to identify the pain point. Whichever area you are working in, whether you are dealing with consumers or you are dealing with your channel partners, you must try to identify what is their pain point. If you are able to identify the pain point and think about how to solve that pain point, then you are going to sail through. That's going to work out very well. So always have your observation skills on good alert. Try to observe, because many of times the pain points will not be told to you. It will have to observe and then address. So if one is able to do that, then that is what one should try to do.
The journey should be from pain points to solutions. Thank you so much, Professor Abhishek. I beg your pardon. It's been a pleasure hosting you. Thank you.
Thank you. Same here.